Have you ever been scrolling on TikTok and you see some person with a camera at a yard sale talking about how they just got the score of a lifetime for $1, and you thought to yourself, wow, that's very disrespectful. Don't worry, I feel the exact same way. So the reason I finally wanted to do this video is because I saw a TikTok of vintage resellers showing off a sweater that is completely mangled and torn to pieces, stained, and looks like something your granddad has out in the garage next to that unfinished 1950s car project. Now you see this hoodie, and you think, wow, it's probably a hoodie he wears for working on a car, or yard work, just something that can get beat up, and just not really worth a lot, just something just to keep on, right? Wrong. He claims in the video that he is selling it for $2,500. Now, I don't know what this man is smoking, because those numbers are higher than I am right now, honestly. The whole vintage clothes market is a whole other deep dive. I'll get into it another time. But this is more of a general overview of these reselling TikTok and YouTube channels. You might have seen these people either online wearing like a GoPro on their hat, or like a body cam style harness, going to yard sales, thrift stores, flea markets, obviously looking for stuff to flip online. But unfortunately, in the middle of doing this, they end up just looking super obnoxious, even pulling out their phones to the wondrous world of eBay to check the sold listing comps, and sometimes even with phone in hand at times, trying to lowball the seller as they're holding the item, and then eBay comps are easily visible on their phone. It's like, how much more annoying can you be? And on top of that, they commentate about how they got the score of the week, or this person or store didn't know what they had, or I basically robbed them for the score. And then it shows comps for like $100+ item that they picked up for 20 bucks. Now, unfortunately, as a reaction to people posting content like this, there has been a explosion of negativity from this, causing a lot of thrift stores to upcharge like no one's business. And regulars at the thrift store seeing this, deciding to put 100% of the blame on all resellers for the insane upcharge. And what do I mean by upcharge? I will explain it perfectly, because I've seen it firsthand. Basically, the thrift stores just seem to search up, and whatever comes up first as the Google search price, they just market it that pretty much. That's how it seems they do. They put like no thought into it. And now keep in mind, thrift stores get this stuff donated for free. They're not paying for any of this. So they're upcharging you like no one's business, robbing you. And that's the awful part about these thrift stores doing this. And I've seen a lot of this stuff happen firsthand, and it's why I don't like going to thrift stores anymore. Now, I put resellers in 3 categories just as like a tier list to look out for. So this is just like a little guide for you guys who might not be in the reselling scene. First up, the worst of them all, scalpers. And this is kind of what, unfortunately, a lot of people like associate with all resellers. They see the prices go up and all that stuff at thrift stores, and they just automatically think everyone's scalpers. But trust me, even resellers hate scalpers just because of the toxic behavior. And these are people that go out and buy obviously a ton of one item. I've seen some people do it with Funko Pops. I've seen some people do it at video game conventions where they'll like buy up all the copies of one game or something like that, and then double and triple the price immediately, same day, to get people who don't know better, unfortunately, and have FOMO, or a fear of missing out. Now, you've seen this more recently with the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series problem, where they would either have bots or just people buy up a lot of the inventory and then mark it up like crazy. Like a $500 to $600 console now costing you about $1,000 to $1,500. Or, if you remember in 2020, the Nintendo Switch craze, I was even trying to find one. I could not find a regular Nintendo Switch anywhere in the stores, like, for a whole year. That's why I ended up getting the Switch Lite that I have. But even when I tried to buy the used ones, like, used, it's like a $300 console at that time, people were trying to sell for $800 to $900 around here. And those are the ones I hate. Those are the ones everyone hates. The next is obnoxious content creators, who are people I mentioned prior that have the camera out on their run, phone in hand, obviously checking eBay for the sold comps with no discreetness at all, and make videos about it online. Now, these people's like threat level, as it's like if you had to put it on a danger level, they would kind of be annoying, like when my cat Cornbread doesn't want to get up from my lap even though my feet are like dying from trying to balance him, as shown here. Now these are people that are like, oh, I made like triple my amount of money back. Oh, this guy didn't know what he had. I basically robbed these people blind. It's those kind of like hook, what do they call them, like hook, line, and sinker kind of things. That's what it is. It's like, it catches you off guard as a TikTok, where it's like, I found the most insane thing at this yard sale. In like 2 seconds, and they have a hooked for a minute video. Now these ones, it's kind of like a 50-50 kind of thing, and I will explain that as well a bit further on, because it will kind of make sense. But for the most part, they're just annoying, and they kind of broadcast the world of reselling to people, and unfortunately, people can see good, but they can see more negativity, unfortunately. Now, for the third level is basically the normal resellers, like the low threat of it all, in my opinion. And if they do make videos about it, they make it at home, after the fact, or they just talk about, like, their haul that they've gotten. Or they might not even make any sort of video or content about it, and can just be stealthy with it. Now, I already hear comments probably like, oh, don't you do reselling? Yes. Yes, I do. And I have for 4 years consistently, but in total probably about 6. And you might not know that because I choose to keep a lot of that separate from my YouTube channel most of the time. And when I do, I talk about the finds way after I get them. Sometimes they go up days or even weeks afterwards. I did a video about a $40 cassette haul. I believe that was like late 2021 or like 2022, somewhere in that time period. And after that, I made about $200 at the end of the day off of that whole entire cassette lot. And then the $30 charity sale CD hauls that I got, I made over $500 on that lot. I'm telling you the profit now because it's been over 2 years since both of those sales went through. And at the moment, I have little to none of what's left other than what I chose to keep from my personal collection. And I've had crazy sales throughout my time reselling, not to mention the multiple private game lots that I've picked up and flipped for double and triple the price over time, like a little drip sale. I even bought out of GameStop's inventory, and after 3 months, I have the PC that I'm using now to stream. I thought about this after the fact, but this was supposed to go in the video, so that's kind of why I have normal glasses, all that stuff. So, when I talked about selling, like, the big games and all that, I was actually selling them under market value, surprisingly. With everything I sell, whether that be dollar items, whether that be $20 items, I try to market below market value just to give everyone a fair chance of having something cool without them having to pay a lot of money. In my experience, I mainly deal with CDs and cassettes now, even though I still do, like, dabble in game stuff. Not as heavy anymore because it's harder to find stuff, but still. But for, like, CDs, I'm cleaning them, I'm testing them, I'm replacing cases. Same with cassettes. Like, I'm taking care of them, taking my time to make sure they're all in good shape before I put them out for, like, most of my CDs are between $2 to $5, and they're all good to go. I do have ones that are like $10 to $20, but again, they're under market value. I try to give my stuff affordable because I know how hard it is for myself to find stuff secondhand that I want. So it's like I like finding those deals, so I like giving people deals as well. Now, because of the crazy stuff I do with that kind of stuff, I choose to stay private with it. I like talking about it after the fact, or just like in passing. I don't try to make it my whole personality. And I just don't like to be obnoxious with it like some other people do. Now, do I think some reselling videos are cool and can even be educational for people who either want to get into reselling or know more? Absolutely, if it's done right. I've learned so much myself. I've learned how to check consoles to see what kind of type of console it is. Even for games, learned how to check what types of games, like different pressings basically of games. Even I learned how to do like research on CDs, cassettes, and vinyl even more for the ones I sell. That's helped me in my own personal collection. So there are a lot of videos that can be educational about the reselling community if you want to know more about it. But unfortunately, there are more annoying ones than good ones, and that's what gets pushed more because it's like rage bait, and these people get like top of the castle, basically, over people who want to actually educate and help people. Because of that, a lot of people seem to have a hatred and a negative perspective on the whole reselling community. Just know, from a reseller standpoint, we think a lot of those people are obnoxious as well. We're right with you, and they ruin the reputation of the whole reselling community. Now, thank you everyone for watching my video on this. Overall, if you did like the video and want me to talk about more stuff like this, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do whatever, guys. See you in the next one.